Hi folks, Sandro here, with Cartoon News and Shenanigans, and today I am finally doing a video on Spider-Man Freshman Year. Yeah, I am so sorry guys, I meant to do this video several times, but I've been doing a lot of stuff recently behind the scenes, just, been very busy. I procrastinated, I forgot to do it sometimes, and it just kept getting pushed back. I know, it's been a highly requested video, you guys kept asking me. So I'm finally here to deliver on the goods, okay? We're doing the video. This is the Spider-Man Freshman Year video. Let's get right into it. So what the heck is it? What is this legendary Spider-Man Freshman Year? So this is an upcoming animated. No, hold on. It's not just animated. It's 2D. You guys know I'm a big fan of 2D animation. This is a 2D animated cartoon series that's going to go to Disney Plus in 2024. And it's apparently going to be part of the MCU, which is really unusual. We're going to talk about it because it's like, it isn't very clear where it takes place in the MCU. We got to get there. We're going to get there in a second. Let me do some brief reading here and we'll get there, okay? So first things up, the logo. The logo looks beautiful. It looks like it was made, doodled in a notebook by pencil. Right, you got a web here that literally looks like it was drawn by a gray pencil as usual, and then we have maybe some pencil crayons for the Spider-Man part here where they colored it in red, and it just looks beautiful. I love this logo, fantastic logo. So thumbs up to whoever created that logo, beautiful stuff. Now we're gonna get into it. So Spider-Man Freshman Year is an upcoming animated American web television series, which is really unusual that they use the word television series here because it's really just going to Disney Plus, right? So when you call it a streaming series instead of a television, I don't know. I feel like as we go on more and more, streaming services have really taken over. I think that the children of the next generation won't even use the term television series. More and more people are cutting the cable, they're cutting the cord, and I'm telling you, I think streaming series is going to become the term in the future. So anyways, based on the Marvel Comics superhero of the same name, so yeah, it's about Spider-Man, no shit. It is the 25th television series and the third animated series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's just a clusterfuck. I'm sorry, guys. Look, I love the MCU. I loved the MCU. Right up until Endgame, I really enjoyed it. The first couple years, I think it was really good. Phase 1, that was great, right? We had a couple of films, just like 2 or 3. You'd get like 2 or 3 you'd get like 1 a year, maybe 2 a year, maybe 3 a year if you were really, really lucky. And that was it. You didn't have to keep going back to the theater like all the time. You didn't have to watch any of these side shows. You would just go to the theater, or you'd wait for the movie to come out on DVD or whatever, and that was it. You'd watch it, and it's done. It's done. You know the story. You know what's happening next. You're not missing out, okay? It was beautiful. Now it's like we're stretching ourselves too far and too wide. I can't keep track of how many shows there are for the MCU. Apparently there's 25 of them. There's 25 series, not even the movies, the series. There's like Loki, and there's like She-Hulk, and there's like this Marvel, there's another 3D animated cartoon that was like the Marvel What If, right? There's the Marvel Zombies, which was another like animated one. Just too much. I can't keep up with it. Then there was like, do we even count the Netflix stuff, right? Like, Daredevil, did any of that shit count? I don't know, because Daredevil's been appearing in a lot of stuff. Apparently, Charlie Cox is even in this show. If I scroll down here, literally Charlie Cox is already on the cast as Matt Murdock / Daredevil. So like, holy shit. I don't even know what's canon. I don't know what isn't canon. It's a clusterfuck. I can't keep up. But I do love Spider-Man, so I will give this a shot. I will watch this show. Just because it's 2D animated, and of course because I love Spider-Man. So yeah, let's keep going here. The series is produced by Marvel Studios and will be released on Disney Plus. Okay. The first season will premiere in 2024. That's about 2 years away. And what's really interesting is that The show hasn't even come out yet, and we're already getting a sequel series called Spider-Man Sophomore Year, which is in development right now. So maybe they're already done this show. Maybe they already finished up on this show. They weren't doing, the Disney was like, okay, the animators are finished. Maybe we should assign them to something. And they're like, hey, why don't we just do a sequel series to that first one? So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But we're getting a sequel series. So fantastic. And also, they're probably making this show to like assert their dominance that they own the rights to Spider-Man, right? So Sony can only make movies, I think it is, right? Sony can make video games and movies, whereas, Disney, I think they can do the rights to the shows. So they can make a show like this, right? So yeah, that's probably what they're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if they introduce some new characters here so that they can try and maybe merchandise them, kind of like what they did with Baby Yoda as soon as they acquired Star Wars. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to like merchandise some new characters from the show. And I did read somewhere here that they're going to have a new Doc Ock. Where did I see that? Yeah, Otto Octavius. Yeah, because we got that big crossover, right? We got Spider-Man No Way Home, where it was like this big multiverse crossover. We got all the original like characters like Tobey Maguire. We got the whole, a bunch of characters from the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield. And then we get the Tom Holland, all clashing into one movie. But we don't really have like our universe. Like Tom Holland, who's Otto Octavius? Who's the Green Goblin in this universe, right? We know who the Green Goblin is. We know, who the characters are in the other universes, but like, who is it in the MCU? Where is the Green Goblin? Where is, all these different characters? Where is the Sandman? Who is the Sandman? So we got to find some of these questions out. And this show seems to want to, flesh some things out. So here we go. Here's the synopsis. And I am very confused by this. Let's read it. The animated series follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU. What the hell does that mean? Does this take place after the Vulture, right? So after Spider-Man Homecoming, right? He defeats the Vulture. He's Spider-Man, because like we see concept art here where he doesn't have the suit, right? This isn't the suit. This is like a hybrid, like early day Spider-Man. This feels like it takes place right after he defeats the Vulture, So yeah, I'm just a little bit confused at when the hell this series takes place. But that's my best guess. My best guess is right after Spider-Man Homecoming. That's what it is, probably. So yeah, it's going to show Peter Parker on his way to becoming the MCU Spider-Man with a journey unlike we've ever seen and a style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots. And this is the cool thing they're doing. The animation for this show looks like it's right out of a comic book. I love the style. I'm very excited to see what it looks like when it's animated. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the style here for the animation. So we don't know if Tom Holland is even coming back for Peter Parker here. But we do, like I said, we do have Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and we do have Paul F. Tompkins as Bentley Whitman. I'm not even sure who the hell that is, honestly. But yeah, to be announced actor as Lonnie Lincoln, Harry Osborn. Okay, so we're gonna get like the MCU version of Harry Osborn, not the one from the Sony films. And some other characters, Norman Osborn. Who else? Unicorn. Who the hell's Unicorn? I don't even know. The Chameleon, we're the Scorpion, Speed Demon. So we're getting a bunch of like side characters here. Rhino. We're getting a bunch of different characters that we just don't know who they are. Now, personally, I would like it if we just started getting more Spider-Man movies, so we can like understand more of these characters and more of these villains. But Disney's just capitalizing, right? So because Sony gets money, anytime Sony is involved with the movies, they're going to get a nice chunk of change. So, Sony is never going to let those rights lapse ever. But yeah. So here we have Disney really trying to capitalize and flesh this universe of Spider-Man out. And like I said, we're introducing some new villains here that we just haven't seen before. Like I genuinely, who the hell is Unicorn? Like I'm not familiar with that character at all. But you know, some of these other ones like Chameleon, like I'm not too familiar with them, but you know, whatever. Scorpion, also Speed Demon, like these Tarantula. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with some of these characters, so I think they're just trying to sell merchandise here, you know, and cut Sony right out of the pie here. But let's go. So let's watch, or sorry, let's see the concept art. But yeah, I don't know when this is taking place. All I know, there's very few like information about it right now. But we have this, like I said, we have this image here. Okay, Spider-Man freshman year. So this must be Homecoming. This must be after the Vulture. It's either before the Vulture or after the Vulture. Do we got any special things? Spider-Man Homecoming's homemade suit. So this is the homemade suit. We get Daredevil, which is kind of weird. So yeah, Daredevil just knows Spider-Man in this. Like, is this established lore? Like, they're saying this is part of the MCU. When does Spider-Man ever come in contact to like Charlie Cox? When does he meet the Daredevil? Apparently he just meets Daredevil, and the Daredevil had a completely different suit. So is this in a different universe? Like, I don't know. Like, what the hell's going on here? And Doctor Strange is in it. You know, does that mean this takes place after No Way Home? Because he already knows Doctor Strange? I have no idea. I genuinely have no clue. But this is pretty interesting here, though. Apparently in this universe, and if this is true, in the MCU, if Norman ever appears, not the Norman from the old, you know, the older versions from Sony there, but if this version of Norman ever appears, it seems they made him black. So they, you know, again, with the whole race swapping thing, I'm really sick of it. You know, we can't just have the Green Goblin. I mean, at least we have the old Green Goblin in the film there, No Way Home, but yeah, they straight up just were like, no, you know, it'd be cool if for no fucking reason Norman Osborn was black now, and also his son is black too. I already saw the concept art right here, and he looks like he's on drugs. What? Why does he look like he just like did some drugs and he's like loopy looking here? I don't know. I think they should have drawn his eyes a little bit better there. He looks a little whacked out of his mind. Seems a bit stoned, right? Like, tell me if that he looks stoned, right? I think he looks a little stoned. Peter looks a little bit like Harry Potter here, but you know, that's just the old comic book style. And I'm a fan of this. I can't wait to see how this looks animated. But yeah, I'm not a fan of them race swapping the character. Not just, honest to God, not a fan of it. And here's, okay, Bentley Whitman. So there's this character. Is he like the assistant to Norman Osborn? Like, I don't know who this is. I'm not familiar with him. Just can't seem to remember this character, but let me know who is he. Must turn into a villain later on, right? I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you know who the heck this is. Bentley Whitman. Let me know down below what villain he ends up becoming, or maybe he just ends up being like a doctor character that no one gives a shit about, and he's just there as an assistant. I don't know. Because like here it only says his name is Bentley Whitman, right? Like, you know, here we get like other names like you know, I don't know who where's Otto Octavius as Dr. Octopus. We don't get like another moniker, so it seems this character is just like a lab assistant and that's it. So yeah, and Paul F. Tompkins is gonna come back for Bentley Whitman here. And again, here's one last picture. So we got a bunch of different characters there, and Peter just looking like a nerd as usual, and that's a good thing. I feel like Peter should look like an awkward little guy, you know. I kind of like the story where he's this kind of like, you know, very awkward kind of like incel kind of character, and you know, he becomes the Spider-Man, comes out of his shell and becomes this like legendary superhero. I love the story of Spider-Man. And I'm glad to see this, you know, the whole school setting here, you know. I feel like that's one of the big things that a lot of these Spider-Man movies are missing. We never get to see like the sort of school element played up too much. I think Disney, you know, the most recent iteration really showed a lot more of the school life that we got from Peter. The first one did it. Like every Spider-Man does it. It's like the first film, we get a little bit of him in school. We get to see what he's like in school, like kind of bit of an awkward nerd. And then we kind of just abandon the school and immediately like go into like, Peter's older now. He has a job. He's working at a pizzeria. It's like we really go from 0 to 100 real fast. And I'm at least grateful that we're gonna get a couple episodes here of him in school where we can actually like see the school dynamic, see him being a nerd, and seeing he has a bully. What was the Flash, right? Flash Thompson. Where's the bully here? That's his name, right? Like Flash Thompson. I don't see him here. Is he here? No. As Harry Osborn, Norman, Milo. I don't see the bully. Isn't his name like Flash or something like that? Spider-Man bully. So that's weird. They're not going to show the. Yeah, wasn't his name Bully McGuire? No. Yeah, Flash Thompson, right? Weirdly enough, I don't see his name. That's so weird. Why would his name not be here? Or maybe it is. Let me hit Control F. Flash. No, it doesn't come up at all. It doesn't come up at all. So weirdly enough, we're not going to have Spider-Man's bully, even though we're seeing like a school setting here. Very unusual. Or maybe he just hasn't been cast yet. Maybe he is supposed to be added to this list. I don't know. But very interesting stuff here. So that's everything there is to know about this show so far. I'm not a fan of the race swapping here, but I am really excited to see the show animated, considering its very interesting comic book style. I really do appreciate that Disney's taking a risk and doing this style. And I like it when they take risks and do new stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. Hopefully it turns out well. Hopefully it turns out good. And doesn't end up just being another forgotten MCU spin-off title that like most people forget about. Hopefully it ends up good, but who knows? And regardless, it doesn't even matter because it's already getting a sequel series called Spider-Man Sophomore Year. And by the time we get to that show, it'll probably have another sequel. So yeah, who even gives a shit? Turns out we're getting a sequel anyway. So there you go. That's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a highly anticipated video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Comment all your thoughts down below. Are you sick of the MCU? Are you bored of it? I think there's just too much to follow, honest to God. And I want to hear your thoughts down below. So thank you very much. And I'll just say, please subscribe. I'm super close to 1,400 subs. And why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Bye-bye.